What is going on, everybody? It's your boy John, and welcome back to Gearbox. So for starters, I'm gonna apologize because I'm a little bit sick. Don't feel great, so I might sound like an absolute idiot, but regardless, wanted to get this video out to you guys because, to be honest with you, I could not be more excited. Of course, by the title and thumbnail of this video, you know that we're talking about our freshly tuned Mark V Supra. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So before we get into who tuned it, what was done, so on and so forth, let's talk about the good old topic of the ECU being locked. So with this Supra, this is a 2022, and it was a September of 21 manufacture date. Therefore, we had a fully locked ECU, only able to be unlocked by shipping out the ECU to Femto in Finland. And in order to do that, I had my great friends at Thunder Bunny Racing kind of facilitate everything for me and get this car set up to tune. Everything went smoothly. I want to say I was without the Supra for maybe, I don't know, like 6 or 8 business days, something like that. I mean, nothing wild, but it was definitely weird not having this car at my disposal. But needless to say, it was definitely worth it. Now, in the background, while the ECU was being shipped out and all that sort of stuff, I was really kind of given a couple different options as far as tuning this car once the ECU was unlocked. And of course, those options are ones that we all, you know, love and know in the Supra world, the Boost mod or whatever, and the JB4 and the MHDs of the world. When I was talking to the people at Thunder Bunny, because I also threw out the idea of getting a custom tune on it as well, because that's just all I know. You know, going back to my WRX, once I put the atmospheric blow-off valve on that car, it really required a custom tune. There was no off-the-shelf options that would allow for an atmospheric blow-off valve to work properly with the vehicle. And so I went to SD Racing and did that, and it was awesome. But because we have a recirculating blow-off valve, that wasn't really an issue. And as we were going through these options, they were basically like, hey man, listen, if you want to get a custom tune, you're more than welcome to. But if I were you, I'd go with some of these off-the-shelf options, and here are some pros and cons to each one, so on and so forth. Ultimately, what we decided on was going with MHD. And to be honest with you, I could not be more thrilled with the results. So on the MHD side of things, of course, we bought the OBD2 plugin, we got the app, got the license, all that. They did the initial tune for me the day before I picked the car up. And then when we got there on pickup day, we went ahead and reflashed the car with all of the customization that I was looking for out of the Supra. Now, I'm not going to get into all of the ins and outs as far as what MHD offers at this point in time. There will be a future video going over every bit and piece in the MHD app, but needless to say, now this stage 2 tune on the Supra on 93 octane is giving us around 500 horsepower and about 530 pound-feet of torque. Now, one of the coolest parts about MHD and one of the biggest selling points to me with all the other competitors in the market was the customizability, not just how you could tune your car, but what specifics you want to happen within the car in your driving experience. So a big sticking point, one example, I guess, is exhaust burbles. As I'm sure you can hear in the background, let off, and we've got that. If we put it into normal mode, the burbles are now gone. And just stuff like that where you can really customize this vehicle to fit your needs. You know, do you want the startup roar? Do you want to have the burbles in certain, you know, sport or non-sport modes of the car? What duration do you want? How loud do you want them to be? There's just a lot of customizability outside of just pulling timing and boost levels and this, that, and the other. And that's really cool. And on top of all of that, if at any point in time I want to change the tune for one reason or another, I plug it into the OBD2, open up the app, reflash the car, and it's good to go, which is so nice. Right now, I've got the burble setting, and once again, I'll make a separate video on all of my settings, but right now I've got it slightly aggressive, and for the time being, and for the sake of enjoying the car in its new form, I love it. But that's not to say that 6 months down the road, I won't hate it. So knowing that I can change it without having to go get another tune and spend all this money, it's all right there at your fingertips and literally in your pocket as far as your phone is concerned, and it's just been awesome. Now let's talk about the downsides. And of course, really the only downside as far as I see it is the amount of money that was spent in order to get this car where it is. Now, this is not talking, how much the downpipe costs or the exhaust or this, that, and the other. This is strict numbers on shipping the ECU off to Femto, along with all of the stuff required for an MHD tune. When it was all said and done through Thunder Bunny Racing, I paid about $2,700 for this car to be as it sits right now. Now, to most people, especially those who don't understand the Supra platform and the locked ECU, that might seem like a lot. And yes, you're right. That is not an insignificant amount of money. But by having the ECU unlocked, you have literally unlocked all of the potential that your car could ever need and want. And although $2,700 in one swoop kind of sucks, I know that it will pay dividends for me in the future, and that's really what it's all about. Now, enough talking about this car. Let's just open the windows and see what this puppy sounds like. So without further ado, here we go. Needless to say, with those short clips right there, this thing moves. It is so fast. Power to weight ratio is a big thing, in case you were wondering, and I absolutely love it. I mean, to be honest, at full throttle or anything close to it, it's honestly kind of scary, at least initially. But it wakes the car up in more ways than one, and I could not be more happy with the results. So here's my public service announcement to you to say, if you are on the fence, especially if you have to ship your ECU off to Femto, if you are on the fence about doing so, I think just the fact that you're thinking about doing it says that you need to just go ahead and do it. And I would 1,000,000% agree with you. Even if you ship it off and don't tune it right away and slowly kind of build up to where you want to be, I'm telling you, this is unreal. And the fact that, and I know this is kind of a stereotypical downpipe and tune on a Supra, but this thing's nuts. And it just woke the car up to the nth degree, and I could not say more good things about it, to be honest with you. I just absolutely adore this car, even more than I did before, and that's saying a lot. So guys, that's gonna do it for another episode of Gearbox. If you like this video, please give it a big fat thumbs up. If you have any questions on the process of getting the ECU unlocked or tuning it, drop a comment down below. Once again, we will be doing an in-depth video on the MHD software itself, so please stay tuned for that. But any other questions, let me know. And as always, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. Until next time, peace.